Okay, everybody give me just a second. Because I want to make sure that we're actually live on YouTube. This is the first time I've used this service. I know Laura has before. I want to make sure that we're actually live on YouTube. This is the first time. Okay, yeah, we're here. So we've only got one person watching, so I'll give it just a second because I'm fairly certain that's probably just one of us. But hello, hello. There we go. Must have pushed out now. I noticed that everybody was still in waiting. All right. Well, welcome to the craft along. If you don't know, about once a month we go live and we do a craft with everybody. And the project itself is free. The design file is free. It's up at the top corner of this live. Kathy, do you mind throwing that in the chat, like the actual link for those that don't want to have to try to use the QR code? But it's a link to it, and then you can download the file. Now, this month we are doing laser. We were looking at it. We were kind of trying to figure out if we could do SVG. Maybe not. You might be able to do some stuff with chipboard, but because we use score lines in this one, which I actually engraved my score lines because I wanted them thicker, um, it's not really going to be very Cricut friendly. So I guess we can just go ahead and get started. I want to talk a little bit about the actual cut process, because what I did was I sized everything. So I brought out my big old piece here, but I wanted everything to fit on one piece because I was out of this specific size of board. It's just a thinner board. I think it's called like medium draft board in Glowforge, but I wanted everything to fit on one. So I sized things down, and I think I might have sized our little pieces just a little bit too big. So I would keep an eye on that when you're cutting if you haven't cut it already, and maybe just shrink them down a little bit more, because now I'm kind of fooling with the idea of either getting rid of this outline piece or stacking them, but I'll show you guys what I mean in a little bit. So I kind of added everything on there, and then I didn't do all of them just because we were kind of at a time limit. It was a 2-hour cut since I was engraving a bunch of stuff. So I just picked, I think, 5. But I was going to just kind of show you guys what everything is. Hello, hello. I'm sorry. I'm not looking at the chat very well because I'm trying to manage the things on my desk. But um, so each piece, and this is one of those signs that, you know, you change out. So I actually have a maybe solution for that down here. But it comes with several pieces. And then each piece has its own little like cutie that goes with it. And so you get like this little 3D effect with it, which that's so cute. And there were a lot of pieces. I think there might have been 12 altogether. I'm thinking maybe they were going for monthly, but I just did kind of the ones that I knew that we would use. And so we've got a little Halloween girl hanging out here. And I'm sorry, y'all. I'm trying to see the camera while also manage the camera, and doing that backwards is really, really messing with my brain. There's a little Cupid. And then we've got a Thanksgiving little guy with a turkey and a cutie with a little flower bot. It's a cute one for spring. So the one that I decided, there's also a Christmas one floating around here too. The one that I decided to use was the pumpkin one, just because we're going to be caught on time. We got to assemble this. We've got to paint it. It's going to take a little while. So we're only going to do one on screen, but essentially it comes with a bunch of pieces. And then I went ahead and I got the tape off of these just because it makes your fingers so dirty, and also it takes a while. And I don't know that I could really camera through all of that without just looking down and kind of being a little bit of a hermit. So I went ahead and took like the topping off because I used the actual Glowforge draft board that comes pre covered, taped. Actually, I don't even know if this is really the Glowforge draft board. I might have bought this from a third party because I think that they've been out of draft board for like a million years at this point. But basically what it comes with is a bunch of layers. And then you get all of these individual pieces. So what we need to start with essentially is this background. I'm gonna actually cut off this camera right here, y'all, because we're not using it. And it'll let you guys see things a little bit better. All of my images are reversed. Is it because I'm on screen? I wonder if I can flip that. Hold on, I'll try to figure that out. I'm just gonna pop this one off. Can y'all clarify that you can hear me though? Hello, hello, can you hear me? Mirror camera. Aha, okay, so I think this will fix that. I don't know why it mirrored it automatically. Yay, all right. So what we want to start with is the backing. Obviously you want to start by cutting everything out, but doing that on screen was going to take 10 years. It really did take 2 hours to cut everything out. I would just want to paint this. Now I'm not going to fully paint the whole thing, and a little bit of a disclaimer here. I'm just going to use markers. I know that Kathleen, you used paint markers. I'm not even going that far. I'm actually just going to use markers because I'm really worried, just for the sake of this live, that if we start painting these, they're going to take forever to dry, and then we're going to have to wait in between layers. So I guess it'd be good to just kind of get an idea of what colors I'm going to use here. I wanted blue. I know that because it's going to match a little bit with this backing. And then I'm going to leaf. And little green. So I like those together though. All right, actually, I want this blue and this. And then for now, that's all because, of course, our little guy, our little pumpkin guy, actually, you guys don't really have very centered. Our little pumpkin guy isn't going to make sense in just those two colors. So we'll have to pick colors for him. All right, so clear off my space a little bit here. Let's quickly get some paint down on here. The acrylic markers are great. They dry straight away. Okay, I will buy some then, because I make these signs a lot more than I do pretty much anything else other than a paper project, because I love a paper project. So I'm gonna just go in, throw a little paint on, and this is exactly why I engraved rather than scored, which it takes a little bit longer for sure, but it's just, you don't accidentally paint right over the lines, whereas if you're scoring and you're going to paint lines, sometimes you can go right over them and then you lose them because they're super thin. So how was everybody's 4th of July? I feel like we saw fireworks like 5 times, to the point that they were putting off some outside on Saturday night, and I was just kind of like, I don't care. I'm gonna stay inside and read. These pens are double-sided, so they have like a really thin, like pin, very much a pin on one side, and I really like that for actual coloring. I've been deep in the like acrylic, well not acrylic, but the coloring book page thing lately. Okay. So that's all I'm painting on this. You could paint the whole background, and actually, we'll talk about it in a little bit, but you might want to, if you're gonna use a Velcro of some sort to like pop these on and off just because they're white. But again, we're kind of pressed for time. I don't really want to have to wait on something to dry, and I didn't have any markers that were going to show up really well with white. So I'm going to just quickly paint our little outline, our border here. Like not do this on top of this. I'll end up coloring it, and I would rather just color my cloth down here. I've already DTF'd a little bit onto it. I like went to press something and then turned it over and went to press something else and then realized that I didn't put anything down. Delvine, it's not a thing where you are. Are you? Probably not in the US. I guess I shouldn't mention that. The US side, we had a holiday, but it's mostly just fireworks and hot dogs and get-togethers. This almost has the same effect of like coloring. I just am obsessed with coloring lately because it's so calming. You can just kind of sit there and doodle. And as soon as I start, my daughter will almost always just appear out of nowhere and then start coloring with me, which I think is cute. She's a teenager. Well, she's not a teenager. She'll tell you she's 12, not 13, but you know, you do what you can to get them to spend time with you for 5 minutes. Ooh, South Africa. So what time is it there for you guys? It's got to be like, is it super early or super late? I'm not very good at time zones. Now, for anybody just popping in, if you want to join us on the craft along today, there is a QR code at the top left corner of this stream, and it'll let you get access to the free design so that you can follow along. Also, later, want to kind of show you this artist store because they've just been such a trooper. They've let us use their projects a couple times. Um, and they kind of don't get anything out of this, y'all. So if you like something that you've made with the craft along, definitely go visit their store and give them a couple purchases if you like something because they work really hard. That is how I found design bundles. I was a designer first. Oh, it's late there. Okay. So wait, does that mean it's, I was going to say it's still yesterday, but I'm going backwards. So it is still today. Or still yesterday. It is yesterday. Did I mention I'm like terrible at time zones? Oh, right. So we got that down. See, this is exactly why I wanted to use these because I knew I was going to touch them and I don't want this stuff all over my fingers. So it's looking really cute so far. I don't know if I want to do the welcome and the home in the same blue or if it'll fit because that's what I'm really worried about. I think I might end up having to get rid of this and I really don't want to because I like the border. Let's make it home. I know I'm going to turn some of these letters backwards and I will try not to. I know this last E is in the end. Welcome. That is not how you spell welcome, Justina. Now wait, I'm a font designer. Why do I not? This M's the right way, right? Is that what it's supposed to say? I need to have the file pulled up, I guess. I feel like I have it backwards. Where'd my other E go? That M still looks backwards to me. No. That's a W. All right, I'm leaving it how it is. Unless, is it? Okay, I believe you. I don't know. Katie is also a font designer, and we're both looking at it. I'm just gonna trust her on this one. All right, so let's go ahead and color these. And once we get these colored, I'll show you guys how I'm gonna glue them down because I'm gonna do something a little bit different. I don't want to use anything that's gonna have to dry. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use this 3M adhesive. And if you guys have a laser and you've never tried this, definitely do. But what you can actually do is you can put this on the back of your like project before you cut it and cut it with it, and then you'll have like a built-in piece. I didn't do that because I don't have very much. So I'm just going to cut it into little sections. But what I really, really like about this is I can kind of show you guys. It's like, woohoo, it's like paper. It's very, very thin. So you're not going to get that rise up that you would usually get when you use like a tape like that. Because I've done the little dots and stuff like that. And then you cut them up, you know, and then you get that little, just, it's a little bump. And it bothers me. It probably bothers no one else, but that is who I am. So again, if you've never tried this tape, definitely get you some. And it's not incredibly expensive. You're probably right, Peggy. It probably is. I think it's supposed to go like that, or you know what? I'm pulling up the project instead of guessing with myself. Design bundles. And side note, if you don't want to have to deal with using that QR code, if you go to design bundles and just click 3 designs, it's like the third one. Yeah, it's the third one. Okay, my N is right now. But I don't know if my O is because they don't show it. Well, she kind of does. All right, he kind of does. It is supposed to be like this. Good eye, Peggy. Now, without accidentally turning one of these little guys around. For those of you with layers, do you guys change your settings from like the standard settings, specifically on Glowforge, but I guess everybody doesn't really have a Glowforge anymore. Because I feel like they turn everything down so low and then I don't get a clean cut. So I've been just setting my speed to just slightly lower. That always scares me because I'm afraid I'm going to burn my house down. I'm going to be a smurf when I'm done with this. Smooth carpet tape. I'll have to look that one up, Delvine. This whole 3M thing was just one of those things that was on a Facebook group somewhere, and someone was like, I'm selling it because it works really good for Glowforge, and we just realized it was like a company that sells supplies for Glowforge and lasers and stuff, and I can't think of what their name is. It's something laser supply. But I bought a bunch, and man, I have used the absolute crap out of it to the point that now I am low. So I'm on my last little sheet of it. I'll definitely buy more. I'll have to look them up. I think it's Smoky Mountain Lasers. I want to say that was their name. The small O should flip. Okay. I am so glad that you guys are paying attention to this because I feel like the whole thing is backwards. Aha, you're right, it is. Okay, awesome. Maybe that's why the M looks so weird to me. I guess I could have painted some of these off camera. I feel like I'm wasting y'all's time. Mhm. I don't know if y'all heard that, but my kids were yelling at each other downstairs. Is my C correct? Because that's one that was looking weird to me too. Let me look. Oh yeah, it is. We're good. We're good. Oh, it's on Amazon now? Sweet. I think when I had first bought it, which was probably like a few years ago, because I've had the same laser for a little while. Um, it was just kind of like everybody realized that it was working for that. And so the person that was selling it specifically for that, but they were like the only ones that had realized. So everybody got excited. And then we were making orders, and I'm pretty sure we sold whoever it was out because we were all like, yes. Because honestly, it's just such a pain to get things down. Like you buy the Glowforge and you just forget that you have to adhere everything together. And then it's like what seemed like it was going to be a 12-minute project is a 2-hour project. Oh, I'm glad you're enjoying it, Delvine. I definitely do not have the patience to sit and watch people do projects. I say, but then I will sit and watch someone tell me how to build things that they made from like Dollar Tree for 3 hours straight. So maybe I do. I'm just underestimating myself. I've got this great tank here. This is going to get a little bit more difficult when we start doing the gnome because we did engrave the pieces, but it's still going to have to be a little more gentle with it. All right, did I put that down the right way? Because now I'm second guessing myself. I did. All right, we're good. Oh, I guess I didn't tell y'all the reason that I'm here and Laura is not is that she is moving. She has sold her house. She's running away to Florida. We keep telling her that she's moving to Disneyland because I guess her daughter had said that at one point and it's just stuck. But she's busy today, so I told her I would do it. My fingers are already a complete mess. Do I want to do this in the same color? I think I do. I'm just feeling blue is going to be versatile enough to where it doesn't matter which one of these I'm putting on, it's going to match. I wanted to do yellow, but then I realized yellow is going to look like really weird with Christmas and stuff. Let me check my H here too, since I'm turning everything upside down. Actually, no, it's this. Or it's this. It's this. Such an odd thing because you're trying to, like, I'm trying to balance it so that you guys can see it, but I'm like 2 feet away from my face trying to color these. Oh, that's gorgeous. Oh, thank you, Peggy. I think she's in here. She might actually be because she was lurking earlier. Her and one of our other employees, Mackenzie, were busy packing up. We just got off the phone. Can't decide which way I want to go. So I'll give you guys a sneak peek here in a little while when we've kind of adhered everything on here. But don't forget that Wednesday is our DTF dollar deal. So we'll do what we did last month, which was our first one, and we'll go through and sell some DTF like pre-made sheets. And Laura and I put these sheets together this month, and honestly, they're way cuter than last time. Not that last time wasn't cute, but we did have a couple people comment that like the designs weren't the best. And so we tried really hard to get like super fun ones, but we have some sneak peeks. And actually, if you go to the site, it's already up to show kind of what's in it, but there's a more thorough set of pages that will show like everything that's in those. Hey, Bub, remember how I'm on? I thank you. My son is on the phone and just walking through the house. Oh, I'm glad you like them. I don't know that I am in love with the blue with the green, but again, I just feel like the blue is going to be better with the variety of colors that you're going to put these on because I'm only going to paint one on live today, but I probably will finish this and then give it to someone. Because fun fact, I don't actually like gnomes all that much. As soon as I said that, I had to think about whether in my background I had a gnome because I used to have a sign over here that had a little gnome on him. I don't like hate gnomes. I feel like they've ran their course. They're not super amusing to me anymore. Come on. All right, there's an M down. And just one more on these before we can do something more fun. Which actually, guys, I'm gonna just do this down here so I can get it done quickly. Oh, there I did it. I drew on my thing. That was kind of the point. We put this down so I didn't draw all over the table. Okay, this part is done. So let's start talking glue. Everything but this O, which we're gonna do something different with. What I'm gonna do is, like I said, I'm going to tape these down. So ignoring my very icky scissors. They're definitely kitchen shears, by the way. But I like buy a new pair of scissors and then immediately they disappear in my house. I have children. Oh, Nicole, I definitely recommend one though. You have to have enough space because holy smokes, they take up a lot more space than you think. And really, there are a lot of models out there now that aren't super, super expensive. I mean, they're still pricey, but I've got a Glowforge and a WeCreate, and the WeCreate is a lower wattage one, so it's kind of nice for smaller projects, but I use it mostly for paper. For anything wood, I usually just stick with my Glowforge. So as you see, I cut those in like little strips, and I'm just gonna pop these on the backs of these, and I don't even need to use a whole lot because this tape is pretty strong. Oh, Peggy, you like it? I have to admit, the UV DTF was a bit of a learning curve for me. I ordered it and I bought a heat, like a mug press. And then I realized that you don't actually need a mug press. So I still have a mug press sitting over here that I don't know, I'll use eventually. I'm not taking it back because I'll find a craft that needs it. But yeah, I love that it's like immediately permanent. And my brain just was not accepting that. I'm like, no, 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 it needs heat. It needs like extra pressure. It has to have something. And it really doesn't. Kathleen, you have the 20 watt. I think that that's what my smaller one is. And then maybe the Glowforge is a 40. I'm not really sure. All I know is it cuts wood. That is the wrong side. Hi, Adelia. We are crafting for the craft along today. So if you want the file, it's up in the top left corner. The hardest part of these things is figuring out which side the actual like sticky is on. And it's completely clear. So if you get a little bit over the edges, it's not a big deal. Got a few pieces here that I want to get out of the way before I end up picking them up trying to take the tape off again. My poor fingers. But honestly, my biggest complaint about doing wood projects is that you see how dirty these are? Like they come with tape on them so that you can get the soot, like you when you pull the tape up, the soot comes off, but it gets on your fingers. And I always feel like I need to wash my hands every 5 minutes. So Peggy, you got the ones from the event. Did you like the file size, like the sizes of the designs on there? Because I did 3 inch-ish, and then we're doing another that's a UV set in this next one that's coming up. And I did kind of the same sizes, but I did throw a few in there that are 4. So I felt like for some things you wanted a bigger size. So I'm not actually using paint. I am using some markers, and I got these at Hobby Lobby. I think that they're literally like their master touch brand. I would recommend using an actual acrylic paint. I just didn't want to wait for anything to dry since we were going to be on live, and that can make it kind of a butt. Uh-oh. Now you'll see, like I'm stretching this one. I don't need to be, but once you get this tape off, it's like invisible. It's really even hard to see that that you put it on there, but it'll still stick really, really well. Now, because I'm using kind of the less great, they're not terrible markers, they're actually pretty good. Because I'm using the kind of less high quality markers, I probably wouldn't put this sign outside, though it's kind of small, and I downsized mine a little bit, so I don't know that it would look good outside anyways. All right. Moment of truth is gonna go down in the right spot. And yeah, we're good. See, I can pick it up by the little piece here. All right, now the more nerve-wracking thing where I gotta make sure I size everything right is this home. And this is where I say, if you get the final file, I would size these down just a little bit because it comes with like a little square that you're supposed to size to 1 inch. So I did that originally, and then I did it on both because it comes in 2 different files. But when I went to size them down, it stayed the same ratio, but these feel like they are ginormous. So I would probably pull those down just a little bit. If I were doing it again, for this, it's fine because I don't necessarily need this two to show up. I think people kind of get the gist with welcome and home. So my favorite project that I made with that UV kit, because I ended up getting two, because the first one we had some issues with that I wanted to fix, and then we got a second one to make sure that it was going to be a high quality. Um, is I took all of those cute embroidery dogs. I hope you know what I'm talking about. Like there's like four of them on there, and they're like little dogs, and they look like they're embroidered out. Anyways, I took all of them and I put them around one cup, and now we're using that cup for my dog's food bowl, like to pour his food in. It's so cute. Every time I pick it up, I'm just like, I love these. All right, I don't want to flip these to where I'm gonna forget. So I'm gonna be very cautious, trying to find my pieces of tape that are not used. And honestly, I'm probably just gonna do one piece of tape per on these. And because we are already 36 minutes in, I'm probably just going to do home y'all, and then I'll do welcome off camera. If you're not already in our Design Bundles Besties group, that is the place to be, especially if you want to see in products here or the people that kind of join us on the lives and then they do their own, they'll post those in there. And then if you're doing this with us or if you end up doing this project later, definitely come in and show us because it's just super cool to see how everybody's take on the same file is. Oh no, my tape didn't adhere very well. Now I'm gonna double check that my H is the right way. Hold on. Aha, it is. Okay. Put this in here as filler to make sure I got enough room. So on the original file, it actually had the option to score this on here. I just didn't want to because I didn't want to. And now that I am realizing why it was there, I feel like that might have been a mistake. All right, our H is down. Our me is going to be down, but we're not going to put the O down since it's going to trade out. So I'm going to kind of be quick with this so that I can get to the Velcro part, because that's the part that I'm struggling with a little bit about how best we're going to do it. Oh, I totally forgot that. Yeah, if you show us your project, then you might win a free unlimited month of Plus Unlimited, which includes things like Craft Designer and Illustrate AI, and you can play with like making your own images. Or even if you don't like AI, you can just, Craft Designer is really cool. It has some extra features where you could like edit photos or turn your photo into a little craft. My poor hands are blue. By the way, if you don't have nails, because I think Ken's still in here. I'm sure he's not running around with nails. Maybe he is. But if you don't have nails, you can use tweezers to kind of get up under there. Mine grow out so fast that I don't mind having them as a tool. All right, I'm sorry if you guys end up seeing the top of my head, but I want to make sure that I got this aligned. Oh, my glue not work? Is it not stick? What's going on? Hmm. In retrospect, I would have put glue on both sides of that. I only put glue here and now it's like moving around. But again, this is an indoor sign. I'm not super worried about it. What is the wattage of your Glowforge? I purchased the We Create 40 watt Vision, and my daughter purchased Glowforge, and we're having a crafting session this week. Oh, that's so cool. Actually, I think I have both. I think I have a We Create 20 watt and the Glowforge, just like basic standard, whatever was the cheapest. Um, but I might have the We Create 40 watt. I actually really don't know, but I know that the 20 watt was the one that was like more for paper, could do wood, but can't do a lot of the more advanced stuff. But I would say that the We Create, the coolest feature there is that ability to put on the rotary. Did you get the rotary with yours? Um, I don't even have mine up here, or I would show it to you, but it's like this little tool that you can stick your cup in and it'll do the whole way around the cup directly, which is insane to me because like I can't wait. I haven't actually bought a tumbler that I can do it on, but I've watched Laura do one. She actually has a video over here on the channel somewhere where she's doing one and she calls me halfway through because she's like, I'm worried. But I think we were doing jeans that day, but she's done a tumbler completely around on that one too. Ooh, that's a good idea, Delvey, because I probably have a million of those around. I also just have my tweezers. That's what I use to get the tape off of the pieces so that my hands don't end up brown. Because it is like soot, I guess. I don't know. I feel like I'm using that word wrong, but don't feel intimidated by it. I would definitely start with a wood project. Um, it's going to be tempting to start with a paper project, but the thing you have to worry about with paper is you have to get the system down. So if it's going to start with the outline of something and then, so say you're doing this O, you'd want to do the outline first, or no, the inline first and then the outline. You want to like work inward to outward. And that can take a little bit of a learning curve to like split those files up, but also it will blow around your machine. So you kind of have to get the magnets and set everything down. So I'd say definitely start with something that's just wood because wood seems to be like the easiest thing to run in the Glowforge or the We Create. But they're both pretty good. I think the We Create might be at 40 watt. I'm not really 100% sure. Or not the We Create, the Glowforge. So it sounds like you guys kind of got the same laser, just in different brands. Thank you, Mackenzie. I'm just like talking about random videos and the poor thing's like running around trying to find them. If you watch the jeans ones, Peggy, that she just posted, it's really neat. She actually puts a pair of jeans. We found it online somewhere and we were like, we got to try this. She puts a pair of jeans in there and then engraves directly on the jeans. And it's definitely light. I think we could have passed over it a couple times, but it looks really, really, that's what she was worried about burning though, because there's no like standard. You can't really find online where you can get the right settings for jeans. And so we were kind of guessing. Just want to make sure my E is the right size here, or the right way. Okay. Like I said, I'm going to do the welcome off screen because I'm sure you guys are tired of seeing me blue. But I wanted to show you that tape trick just because this has made me like doing laser projects a lot more than having to use glue. I hate anything that has to dry, to be fair. So now is my little bit of a dilemma because I don't know if I want to go with, they make these little Velcro stickies, right? They're super simple, super easy to find. You can find them everywhere. They're actually incredibly cheap too. I'm sorry, centering things on the second camera is not easy, but I'm wondering if I could do just like one in the middle because most of these are solid, but then you have the O. And I don't know that I'll really want to use the O. Oh, so if you have the Pro, that does basically everything. It doesn't do the cool rotary thing. That's what I tend to run to my We Create for. Well, I use my We Create more for paper. I haven't actually done anything with the rotary, but every time I'm looking at a project, anything that I can do with like a cup or something bigger, just because the one of the issues I have with the Glowforge, not that it's bad at all, is that you only get, let's see if I can show you here, like this much bedroom, like up and down. So if you have something taller, you have to either take out the whole bed and like try to size it around, but even that doesn't always focus really well. And the way that We Create does it is just, it's a little bit better. I like it a little bit more. All right, well, let's get our gnome painted. And I think I've just decided I'm gonna do Velcro. And we will just kind of forget the O. I mean, I could do it on the back of the O, but you see how that's shining through. It's not gonna look super, super great. See, that's what I think it'd be cute for, like putting little flowers or something on, your kids' jeans, or if you're upcycling a pair of jeans that they hate, because I feel like every time I go to show my kid something that I made them, they're like, or they made them, sorry, I'm getting confused. Every time I try to show my kids something that I've thrifted for them, they're like, ew. But if they could personalize it a little bit, maybe they'd be a little happier. I have made this so this little guy doesn't fit completely. Oh well. It is what it is. I can't change it now. So let's pick out some colors for our little gnome man. This one is the cutest because he's got a little pumpkin. I can't wait for fall. I'm always like, I'm ready for summer, and then summer gets here, and I'm like, I'm over summer. So Kathleen did this one earlier, and she did such pretty colors, but she did like, her markers were very, she played with it a little bit. She made it a little more in-depth. I think I'm just going to stick to like one color per section and something around what the site has. So they're using a green, which we already have out. Hello, green. And then of course we want an orange, which I don't know that I have. I have a yellow, and yellow is my favorite color, so we will definitely use that. Um, I don't really have an orange. I have like a peachy. I have a red. I wonder why this kit didn't come with an orange. We'll use the peachy. It's looking more orange to me the more I look at it. So these two are very fall. And then it has a green on it, but we have the green. Then we need something for his little nose and mustache, which I do have. The reason I bought this kit was because it had a couple skin colors in it, not the super great range, but I do have this. We can make him a little more tan. I think I like the lighter though, just because it's going to fit better with the color scheme. And then his little beard. Honestly, I might just do gray, because aren't gnomes supposed to be like super old? Okay, I haven't been able to see you guys for a minute, so I'm sorry for missing comments. Ooh, go see where Kathleen's at. I can't look, and now I'm jealous. But I'll be all right. I'll be all right. So I'm going to start with this. Do I want to start with the lighter color? Yeah. This light color. And then I'm just doing the hands and the little nose. And I think that that is all. I keep using the picture because I want to make sure that I'm not missing the person that drew it, like what they were thinking. So it looks like these little sections back here are supposed to be maybe his shirt. I'll probably just do a random color for that because I don't want it to look like he doesn't have a shirt on. My little skin color is actually going to look kind of good because it's going to mix with this brown on the background. So this almost doesn't show up at all. I guess I could have left it plain. Honestly, this makes a good orange. Isn't it crazy how different those colors are? And then let's go to the maybe orange. It didn't look orange to me in the pack, but now it's looking very orange to me. So maybe I'm just a little colorblind. Christmas for everybody, I did a pack of earrings that I hand colored like this. And then it was just like these little pieces as the earrings. And then I gave them to nobody because I got really impatient about 3/4 of the way through the project and was like, I have other things to do. Because the thing that I give everybody for Christmas usually is like a hand lettered ornament. So I'll hand letter something and then I'll laser cut it. So it's got like a little bit of a special to it. But then this year we actually put their pictures on them. They're really, really cute. So I just figured they had enough of my homemade stuff because, of course, when it's family, you don't really get away with doing only homemade. They usually want, the thing that they wanted or the shoes that they asked for. So I'm getting out of the lines here just a little bit. But now the original picture has this whole pumpkin in 2 different colors, but now that I'm seeing this orange, I actually really just want this whole pumpkin in one color. Because it turned out to be very orange. Woohoo! I like that, it's pretty. What did I do with my cap? All right, now I need probably a brown for a little pumpkin skin. Where I live, every field that was a watermelon field seems to turn into a pumpkin field right after. So I'm already starting to see the pumpkins. Every time I tell somebody that like Southern Indiana, oh, like it's pump or the watermelon time, like all of our fields are watermelon. They're like, no, it's corn. I'm like, yeah, we have a lot of corn. We have a lot of watermelon though. Almost to the point that by the end of the summer, you'll have people just giving you free watermelons because they have so many and they're going to go bad. I guess he's going to be barefoot because I did his shoes the skin color too. But I don't want like a million different colors on the guy. Yeah, let's figure out what color we're going to make his shirt. Where did my cap go? Hi, I'm Justina and I can't find anything ever. Do dark blue for a shirt? I think this is more purple. Can you guys see this little spot on this pumpkin? I cannot figure out where it came from, but it was underneath the tape when I pulled the tape off of my wood. And it's like, I'm glad that that's something that was going to be covered up because that would have made my project not very cute. Oh, actually, I'm going to put him. We're good. Over here too. Ah, he's cute. Okay, let's give him a beard. Honestly, if you were just making this as like a gift for somebody or something simple, you could probably just draw in those secondary pieces or just merge them. Maybe in Cricut Design Space, you can merge them. I guess you can't export, can you? Well, you could do it in Craft Designer, but if you just merge the files, you could do all of it on one and then just color everything. I just think the pop out effect makes it just look a little bit nicer. I feel like this gray might have been too dark. Oh my goodness. So Peggy, do you know what your first project is going to be? Like what you're going to try? I really can't remember what I did first. I had to justify that this was going to be the like the Christmas present maker for the next 10 years because of the cost of it. So I know that I did Christmas presents. Delvina, I'm actually not sure. I think Mackenzie's still in here though, and she would know. I think it's a doodle. Is it a doodle? All I know is she's adorable, and I love it when she appears when we're in a meeting. So I don't love his gray beard, but he's got it now. And for his hat, I think I'm gonna do yellow. Or actually, I'm gonna follow how they did it, and I'm gonna do yellow in the little, I guess, stripes or highlights. I'm not really sure what those are supposed to be. And then we'll do yellow on the little sunflower. Burnadoodle. I just have a pit bull. That one's not hard to remember. He is ornery. I had to lock him downstairs because about 2 seconds before coming in here, he decided he was going to throw a barking fit at an invisible intruder. And then I'm going to do his little hat in the same color as the pumpkin so that it matches. I'm not trying to be out of frame, y'all. It's just that I have to hover over it to like see what I'm doing. Oh no, I don't think that that's too big. From what I saw when Laura did hers, it didn't look like it was really complicated. Plus, that's the exciting part of the we create. You can be like, your daughter doesn't have that feature. You can be like, haha, mine does this. I do think wood is the most friendly. But then again, I like paper crafts, and Laura will tell you paper crafts are harder than anything else. So maybe it's just a preference thing. I think for me, I just like the assembly of a project more than I like sitting and waiting on the project to cut or finish or anything. Like even DTF, playing with DTF, I enjoy that because I like to just sit down and put everything together. I don't necessarily have to have printed it myself. Well, I colored outside the lines, but he's got a hat on now. That's wrong. I know they used green on this, and I think it was just his little, I don't know what that's supposed to be. Leaf coming out of his head. They also used green on the shoes and the stem, but I feel like the stems are brown. Maybe if it's like really fresh, the stems are green. Christmas is a good one. You know what's really easy on the Glowforge that everybody overlooks is how simple Christmas ornaments are. Like, you can make 40 on one sheet. Just make sure you put those little holes in them, and then they're a really, really easy gift tag for like gifts if you want to just throw a little special 2025 on an ornament and it looks like you leveled up and you put all this extra work into it and it's really just like a thing you did one time. But I have one of those families that we give like certain family members will just give a new ornament every year. And I have turned into that family member because it seems like every year I'm doing like a specialized ornament of some sort for everybody. All right, so he sits a little crooked. Which, I mean, I guess I could put the O down and then it could kind of sit out, but I feel like I don't like that either. So he's just gonna sit a little crooked. This, by the way, is not a file thing. This is my fault. I just didn't figure out where to sit everything correctly. I should have put them in there while I was sizing everything. All right, so let's try this Velcro thing because I think it's gonna be the best bet. I don't know that you can pick colors, Betty. Did I just say Betty? What's wrong with me? But I have seen people do like full engraves where I guess they use a special program. I'm not sure how they do it, but they make it like really, really high depth and it's still a black and white or a, I guess if you're doing it on wood, it's kind of a wood and white, but or wood and black print. But it ends up looking really, really clear. Like you can really see the image. So for the rest of these, I'm gonna have to actually like size them and make sure that I get that piece out perfectly. But since I'm only doing this one on the live, I kind of just threw it down. And then we'll pop a little piece of paint on here. But after this, I think I'm gonna be done, y'all, because we are 3 minutes past and this is supposed to be an hour, but it's no biggie. I ain't got nowhere to be. Though I'm sure my kids are ready to come upstairs for lunch. I was kind of like, hey, stay down there. I mean, they have food. It's not like a dungeon or anything. They've got a whole pantry down there, but no refrigerator. That was so clean. Alrighty then. So obviously we still gotta put our welcome down. I will do that right after this, but I can at least share a picture of this in the group. But I think it looks so cute. I love how, like, I think the thickness just really makes it look like it's some professionally made piece, even though I could have used better markers. The markers are starting to, I don't know, you know what I mean? Like, they've got almost a texture to them that I don't love, but I made it quick and easy for the slide. Oh, that's an idea. I like that, Kathleen. You mean like paint something and then laser it off and then paint another color and then laser it off? Because now I want to do that, like right now. All right, well, that is done. I am going to show you guys, I promised you a sneak peek to something, so I'm going to give you a sneak peek to something. I've just got to rearrange my cameras here a second. to figure out how to add. Oh, okay. I figured it out. Extra cute. Ooh. I'm gonna have to look at that because I don't understand how it could do colors. I guess it prints. Does it print? All right. I can't figure out the second camera thing, guys, but I'm still going to show you a little sneak peek of the, I guess, Peggy, since you're in here, I'll show you the UV DTF one that we did. So on Wednesday at 5 p.m. CST or 6 p.m. my time if you're like on the Indiana East Coast side of things, we'll be going live and doing our DTF sale. And it will involve 5 sheets this time instead of 4 because there's a bonus sheet if you buy all of them. And everything is like hand curated. And you can see a lot of these on the preview. Here, let me change out the QR code. Sneak peek. Show. All right, so that should be the correct one now, but that will take you to the page. You can kind of look at what's in them, but also we'll be going live on Wednesday and I'll actually show you all of these sheets. But this is the one that we're doing for UV. We're only doing one UV this time. If you ordered last time, you got that UV just a few days later than we wanted. We definitely wanted you guys to get them quicker. So this time we're going with one so that we know that we have enough printers. And then next time we've got a few more printers now. So we'll reevaluate and make sure that we have everything that we need. But it's very Christmas and very fall. So what we did was it's basically split into 2. There's like half of it's Christmas, half of it's fall. And they're all about 3 inches. And they're really, really cute this time around. I'm really obsessed with this little kit right here. I'm gonna make coasters with it somehow. I guess these 3. So anyways, join us on Wednesday and you're gonna see all of them and everything. And also we'll have the cool thing that we're doing this time is each kit is coming with like a little companion guide. And it'll tell you everything that's in it, you know, how much to price things for, what you can make from it, just so that we're not leaving you guys hanging to where you can't actually see, you know, like you get one and then you're like, what am I supposed to use this for? I've lost my chat, guys. There you guys are. All right. So I'm done for the day. Come and see us on next Wednesday. Like I said, 5 p.m. CST, 6 p.m. EST. And I will see you all later.